Hey friends, it's time to create another embellishment for my July Use It or Lose It challenge. And this time I'm going to be using this sheet that I picked up a bunch of these at Scrappy Elephant, and I think you could put like photo slides in them. But what I did is I just cut 4 of them out down the line here. So you're left with the one at the top, which I cut the pieces out to make it just a square. And that way I have 3 sections. And I've added in some of my scrap paper at the top and the bottom. And then I've turned this second section into a shaker. It doesn't shake all that well, but you can still see the shaker mix. And then I've just decorated the top and the bottom and turned it in to a tag. So I think this is super cute and a neat idea of using these pockets in different ways. So let's make one together. I have a bunch of different stickers and things around me. The main tools you're going to need is a hole punch, some scissors. I'm using my sewing machine. You're going to need some type of sequins mix and stickers to decorate. And I do have my hot glue gun on. I'm being very careful with the hot glue gun to not melt the plastic. So I already have one cut out and ready to go. So let's cut out the squares to go in the inside. And I cut my squares 1 3/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. So I think I'll use a scrap of that. I think I'll repeat because this is what I have, a scrap of these 2. Alright, so I have my papers cut out. Please excuse my brace. My hand and wrist have been hurting something terrible, and sometimes I just need my brace on to help with that pain. So as you can see, I have a little bit of room at the top and the bottom. So if you wanted to cut your paper to fit more of the area, you definitely could do that. I kind of just wanted mine to fit in here, and it didn't have to fit perfectly. Now we're going to add some of this shaker mix here into that middle pocket, and then I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to stitch on all 3 sides to seal up the shaker mix and also make it look like it's stitched. Let's see. I think that's a good amount. We're going to go with that. Okay, let me go ahead and go and stitch on this, and then we are going to punch our hole and decorate it. Okay, so I got my tag stitched around here. Stitching this plastic, it's not perfect, and it's also a little tiny bit loose, so be mindful of that. I think my first one was a little bit better than this one. This one I struggle with a little bit more, but you can kind of see that it shakes around a little bit. And you just kind of have that. I like the little glitter in here too, because it gives it a little bit of sparkle. And these seed beads, now they are pressing a little bit on the plastic. So if you were putting this in something, you want to not put these seed beads, because that is pressing on my shaker there and almost wanting to put a hole in it. So just be mindful of what you're putting in here. Let's go ahead and punch our hole at the top. And I'm going to roughly get it in the center. It's pretty tough to punch. I could pull out my crocodile, but I didn't want to do all that. All right, let's get some Let's see, what do we have in here we want to use up? Let's do maybe, this would be pretty and this would be pretty. Let's do this, and we will do those 2 pieces. All right, so we have our bow. That was a little difficult. Now let's decorate. So I do have this Merry Christmas, and I used one of the poinsettias on this one. So I'm thinking maybe the holly on this one, because I am trying to use these stickers up. So let's maybe put the holly there. And then, see, I think I have some. All right, I think we're gonna need 2 pieces to bring this up. So let's put this piece in. Bring another piece, and yeah, that works. All right, so we have our sentiment there, and then we need something decorative. Look at my glue gun. See the glob of glue there? And it's got so stringy. I don't know. I complain about my glue gun, and then I'll have a couple weeks where my glue gun is like perfect and no issues, and then it'll act up again like this. Let's do maybe this flower up here. It's a little vase with flower. Let's see. Or we could do this tree. All right, oh, I like that one better. Let's do that there. And I'm not going to put any of the glue here. I'm only going to put the glue at the part that's going to be down in where the green paper is, just to be careful in case it does put a hole in the plastic. And then we are done. These turned out super cute. And I think what I'm going to do with these 2 is I'm going to fill them with sequins mix and stitch them, punch a hole, and these are going to be little mini tags as well. I think that's what I'm going to do with these extras. So thanks so much, guys, for stopping by. Thanks so much for stopping by, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.